Welcome to Goldengames. Double free. Exploit on PS4/PS5. A new vulnerability nicknamed Double Free has surfaced in the PlayStation hacking community, and it's looking promising for both PS4 and PS5 users, especially those running older firmware. What is a double free vulnerability? In C/C++ base systems like the PS4 and PS5 OS, Orbis OS based on FreeBSD, memory is dynamically allocated and freed. A double free occurs when the same memory location is mistakenly freed more than once, which causes memory corruption, unintended behavior in memory management, heap corruption, potential for an attacker to take control of memory used by the system. This is considered a serious security bug, especially in kernel or system processes, because it can often be used to hijack program control flow, inject malicious payloads, or escalate privileges, e.g., from user-level code to full kernel access. In programming, free refers to releasing memory that was previously allocated. A double free happens when the same memory is freed twice, which can cause unexpected behavior and can potentially be exploited to execute arbitrary code, like running unsigned apps or homebrew. What consoles and firmware are affected? PS5. The exploit appears to work up to firmware 10.60. That means users on 10.60 or lower might be in luck. It looks like this vulnerability was patched after that. PS4 works up to firmware 12.00. It seems Sony patched it in 12.02, so anything above that might be safe from this particular bug. How this applies to PS4 and PS5. Firmware ranges. PS5, vulnerable up to 10.60. PS4, vulnerable up to 12.00, but appears patched in 12.02. This suggests the bug existed in shared parts of the OS or libraries used across both systems, and was eventually caught and fixed by Sony around those firmware versions. Where is the bug located? The specific double free likely exists in the WebKit process used by the browser, or a system service that handles memory. These are common entry points for exploits on PlayStation systems. Often, the first step in an exploit chain is gaining user land execution via the browser, and then escalating to kernel-level access using a vulnerability like this. Exploit development potential. This bug alone does not equal a jailbreak, but is an important piece. Here's how. User land plus kernel exploit chain. You typically need a user land vulnerability to run arbitrary code, e.g., WebKit exploit. A kernel vulnerability to elevate privileges, e.g., this double free bug. The double free might serve as a kernel-level exploit in such a chain. What could be done with it? If weaponized, run homebrew games or apps, enable debug settings and FTP access, dump games or decrypt system files, build custom firmwares or mod tools, possibly exploit devkit/testkit features on retail hardware if combined with other methods. Why this is big news. Sony security tightening on newer firmware makes fresh exploits very rare. With 10.60 being relatively recent on PS5, a working exploit here could benefit a huge number of users. PS4 being vulnerable up to 12.00 also helps revive hope for people stuck on mid-range firmwares who missed out on earlier jailbreaks. Why is this important? If successfully exploited, a vulnerability like this could allow developers to gain kernel-level access, which is needed for full jailbreaks, run homebrew applications, emulators, and mods, potentially dump or modify game files, create custom firmwares or loaders. It's still early. This isn't a full jailbreak yet, but it's the kind of bug that could lead to one, especially if a chain of vulnerabilities, user land to kernel, can be combined. Expect researchers to dig deeper and possibly build a proof of concept or user land exploit around it. It could become part of a full jailbreak if paired with other working exploits. What to do if you're on a vulnerable firmware? Stay on your current firmware. Do not update. Block system updates using DNS, proxy, or router rules like Al-Aziz DNS or Pi-hole. Wait for a POC or jailbreak release. Keep an eye on trusted devs like SpectreDev, ChendoChap, or Slearsgovy. Thanks so much for watching.